get up in age, you start getting slower, for lack of a better term. But personal safety, safety for those that are with you. I want you to start thinking in terms of being prepared. Do you have two ways of escape? You know, when you get out there and you're in the middle of this thing and it decides to go a direction you're not prepared for it to go. Are you ready? The big thing I want to talk about also today is, are you prepared for what you're going to confront afterwards? Can you be a help to these people that have just literally lost everything and it's been obliterated? Not just from a tornado standpoint. How many think a possibility of an earthquake could happen here?
Big time.
Big time. Okay, the Madrid Fault, they had a, what was it, a 5.3 last year, Kokomo, which is north of here. Okay, it's possible, folks. Be ready. Okay. Notice my morning picture that I put up here. Now we'll move to the next one. You want to run this thing up here? Sure. I think all you got to do is hit enter. Works for me. Anybody recognize that picture up there?
Yep. Palm Sunday outbreak.
I was a kid. Most of you weren't here. This was an actual photo that appeared in a lot of newspapers around the country. And it was actually a twin that was coming down Highway 34, I think it was, or 28. And it was a nasty outbreak, I don't mind telling you. You don't want to see this either. Driving down the road, you think you got it all together, man. You look in the rearview mirror, you can't keep the car on the road. You don't know why. Look behind you, and you have a pavement shift. Any of y'all recognize some of this?
Wasn't that in Vanward? Wasn't that in Vanward?
September?
Tuscaloosa and Joplin. As I said here, and this is kind of notes for me, but the purpose of this is I want you to think in terms of preparedness from a proactive standpoint, not from reactive. If you see some disaster scenes like that, and if you're chasing these things like I know you are, you're going to see the damage after. And you're going to have a desire in your heart to help somebody. And if you get out and you suddenly see what's left of a house and you hear someone inside screaming and crying, you going to run and leave them? You're going to try to help them. Don't become a victim. If you've got rubble and someone trapped in there, I highly recommend that if you get a chance where you live, find out if they have a CERT team there. Find out if they have a CERT program, Community Emergency Response Team. You're trained in basic search and rescue. You're trained in basic first aid. You're trained in basic fire suppression. How to shut off utilities like natural gas, propane, electricity. You're taught how to move patients. You're taught how to basics of triage. But you're also taught personal safety and scene size up. So that if you find yourself chasing a storm and that storm goes through and rips through a place like Joplin or Tuscaloosa or Greenwood or Martinsville or Morrisville, you're not only able to get great footage, but you can also be a great help. Okay? Because if you have that training and you've planned and pre-planned in your mind what you need in the back of your vehicle that you hope you never have to use, but you've got it, then you can offer your assist to those people that have just suffered major damage, maybe even some injuries. Okay, everybody agree with that? Does that make sense to you? Or am I boring you to tears yet? I don't do dances. Okay? So this is the only entertainment you get, okay? Go ahead. Any of you around here in 2008 remember the flood?
Oh, yeah.
Nasty, okay? Didn't like it. I worked for 9 weeks. First 4 days was 16-hour days. We had airboats doing evacuations, everything else. Columbus, Bartholomew County, their hospital had to be closed. Patients had to be transported to other facilities. Southern Johnson County, the courthouse annex in the basement was flooded. Several documents were ruined. Morgan County, where I am, we had, where I live in Paragon, was 90% underwater. I had water within 6 feet of my house, and it stopped. Thank you, Lord. But there was a lot of people that lost everything they had, and there was a lot of people came to their rescue. A lot of people came to help. And that is the awesomeness, I believe, of not only Hoosiers, but the awesomeness of a lot of people today. They still have a heart after God. They still have a heart to do the things to help other people.